probably where they've ended up with a difficulty they hadn't planned for.
But also the two different teams. I mean, it's clear they're not working well together, but also, they have very little respect for each other. So we're beginning to get to a situation where we all thought that all those, two teams fighting against each other was going to be a thing of the past. And I don't think they're fighting, because I think William and Charles are close. But those two teams, Buckingham Palace have been quite enjoying the complete mess that Kensington Palace have been making of things. And certainly I've, heard them saying, they need to sort this out. It's not, they haven't been defending them. Right. They've been kind of slightly thinking, well, we wouldn't have made a mess of it.
Well, look, the House of Windsor, built on centuries of tradition and a carefully maintained sense of unity, has long stood as a symbol of British continuity and strength. Yet today, it faces a deepening rift at its very core, a division that threatens to shake the foundations of the monarchy itself. The once solid bond between King Charles III and his son, Prince William, is fracturing under the immense weight of their royal responsibilities and the expectations of a nation. What began as subtle differences in leadership style and generational outlook has now escalated into a visible rivalry. Buckingham Palace versus Kensington Palace, father versus son. This is far more than a private family squabble. It's a high-stakes battle over the monarchy's future direction, played out in the relentless glare of public scrutiny and media speculation. Behind closed doors, sources describe a heated competition for influence, with what was once cooperation now replaced by a quiet but intense rivalry that permeates every level of the royal household. King Charles, now 76, seeks to usher in a softer, more conciliatory reign, one marked by dialogue, inclusivity, and a desire to modernise the monarchy's image. Meanwhile, William, ever conscious of his destiny as the future king, is more assertive and fiercely protective of the institution, determined to uphold its traditions and authority. Their philosophies are fundamentally at odds. Charles favours reconciliation and bridge building, hoping to heal old wounds both within the family and with the public. William, on the other hand, believes the crown must stand firm, drawing clear lines to safeguard its legacy and ensure its survival in a rapidly changing world. This growing ideological divide has created a power vacuum, leaving royal advisors, courtiers, and even the British public questioning who is truly steering the monarchy through these turbulent times. When the king and his heir are at odds, the very stability of the monarchy is called into question, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the nation. The unfolding drama between Buckingham and Kensington is not just personal. It's a battle for the soul and future of the British monarchy itself. The tension between Charles and William is mirrored by a breakdown in communication between their households. What was once a seamless flow of information has now become a series of missed connections and subtle power plays, with each side wary of the other's intentions. Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace now operate as separate entities, each guarding its own agenda and fiercely protecting its own interests. The physical distance between the two palaces is matched by an emotional and strategic divide. The result, an increasingly disjointed, often contradictory public message that leaves both the press and the public struggling to understand the monarchy's true position. Decisions are made independently, leading to confusion, duplicated efforts, and a sense of disarray that trickles down through every level of staff. King Charles's team focuses on his legacy, determined to uphold tradition and reinforce the authority of the crown in a rapidly changing world. Meanwhile, William's staff aggressively builds the brand of the future king and queen, embracing modernity and innovation to connect with a new generation. The lack of a unified command leaves the monarchy vulnerable to missteps, internal rivalries, and damaging PR crises that can quickly spiral out of control. Courtiers are loyal to their respective palaces, fostering an us-versus-them mentality that undermines trust and collaboration. The monarchy cannot function as two competing courts. It needs a singular vision, open dialogue, and a willingness to work together for the greater good. This communication void creates a monarchy that appears fragmented and weak, eroding the sense of unity that once defined the royal family. Without swift action to bridge this widening gap, the monarchy's credibility and its future hangs in the balance. The shadow of Prince Harry looms large over the royal family, a constant reminder of the deep fractures that have yet to heal. Once inseparable as children, Harry and William's bond has been tested by years of tension, public scrutiny, and painful revelations. This ongoing rift continues to fuel the friction between King Charles and Prince William, straining not just their personal relationship, but the very fabric of the monarchy itself. King Charles, ever the peacemaker, is determined to use Harry's upcoming UK visit as an opportunity for peace talks, hoping that a heartfelt conversation might finally pave the way for reconciliation and restore some sense of unity. But William, now more often seen in the spotlight for the wrong reasons, is less active in public life than before. Recent scandals and controversies have led to a noticeable reduction in his royal engagements, with the media's gaze intensifying on his every move. The wounds left by Harry's memoir and his candid media appearances remain painfully raw for William, who now finds himself under relentless scrutiny, not just for family drama, but for his own actions and decisions. Charles acts as a father, longing for unity, reaching out with hope and compassion, desperate to mend the family's broken ties. William, on the other hand, is caught between his role as future monarch and the glare of controversy, his reduced public presence a stark contrast to the expectations placed upon him. This disagreement between father and son highlights their core conflict. One is driven by a desire for healing, the other by a need to protect both himself and the crown from further scandal. If Charles proceeds with the meeting, it signals public disunity and risks further headlines about royal discord. But if he cancels, it could alienate Harry forever, deepening the chasm between father and son. Harry's visit becomes a flashpoint, forcing the royal family to confront both past wounds and their competing visions for the future. The unresolved sibling rift is now more than a family feud. It's a proxy war between a father's hope for reconciliation and a son's struggle to navigate the pressures of scandal, media attention, and the heavy weight of royal responsibility. The royal family's internal strife has spilled into the public domain, eroding trust. A damaging narrative suggests the royals see the public as gullible, fueled by missteps and lack of transparency. The #FakeKate hashtag exploded, reflecting doubts about William and Kate's honesty and the authenticity of their image. Every photo and statement is now scrutinized for deception, and the palace's silence only fuels speculation. The public demands transparency, but the institution clings to secrecy, widening the gulf. This erosion of trust is the monarchy's most dangerous threat. If the future king and queen are seen as untrustworthy, the crown's future is cast in doubt. Rebuilding trust will require radical honesty, a change the royals may not be ready to make. Nothing symbolizes royal flux more than the family's retreat from Buckingham Palace. King Charles prefers Clarence House, avoiding the palace's impersonal halls. William and Kate have moved to Forest Lodge in Windsor Great Park, making it their permanent home. Their choice signals a break from tradition, prioritizing privacy and normalcy over royal expectations. Neither the current nor future monarch intends to live at Buckingham Palace. This collective retreat is deeply symbolic. Buckingham Palace is the ceremonial heart of the monarchy. Rejecting it as a home suggests a move away from London-centric traditions. The palace's issues go beyond practicality. The royals want a less formal, more relatable monarchy. Yet in doing so, they risk diminishing the grandeur that underpins royal authority. The empty palace stands as a testament to a monarchy in transition. The royal exodus from Buckingham Palace is shifting the monarchy's centre of power to Windsor. Both King Charles and the Waleses now call Windsor home, making it the new royal hub. This move fosters unity and privacy, away from London's media glare. It's a strategic retreat, aiming for a more cohesive family unit. Critics argue a London base is essential for state functions and public engagement. Moving to Windsor risks disconnecting the monarchy from the nation's capital. The shift encapsulates the dilemma: modernise or risk irrelevance. The move appeals to a new generation's desire for privacy, but challenges centuries-old geography of royal power. Whether Windsor can replace Buckingham Palace as the monarchy's heart remains uncertain. It's a bold experiment that could redefine the crown's relationship with the public. The monarchy stands at a crossroads, its future clouded by division and shifting public sentiment. The rivalry between Charles and William is a symptom of deeper institutional crisis. The lack of unity and communication leaves the crown fractured and uncertain. The public's trust deficit is an existential threat. Mystique and deference no longer suffice. The #FakeKate saga has damaged credibility, demanding a new era of transparency. Buckingham Palace's uncertain future mirrors the monarchy's predicament. Its possible transition to a museum reflects a psychological separation from tradition. The royals' attempt to modernize could make them seem less relevant. The House of Windsor's survival depends on resolving internal conflicts and rebuilding public trust. This is a defining moment. Adapt and endure, or become a casualty of division.